What's going on, everybody? This is Sai from Forge Physio. Today we are going over the hack squat. So if you are at a commercial gym or a home gym or at home and don't have access to a hack squat machine, there's a little hack that we can do, pun intended, that we can get you a hack squat set up at home. So we're gonna use a foam roller, and then we're just gonna use the wall. And then here in a minute, we'll talk about variations that we can do to add load. So going to the wall, we're just gonna put the foam roller on the wall, doing our best to make sure that it is sitting level with the floor and not at an angle like that, because if you go down, it's gonna move at an angle and feel all awkward. And I wanna put the foam roller right at the top of my butt so that when I drop in that bottom position, it doesn't move up my back a ton. You'll see that as you do reps, the foam roller will start to move up. Kind of gets a little bit annoying to where you almost have to stop and reset and push it down, so that way your hips don't drift backward toward the wall. So just like our version of coaching the wall sit, we want you guys to do a posterior pelvic tilt or tuck your hips under you, keep your torso vertical, and then descend into that bottom position so that way you can load your quads. The further you lean forward, the more your butt's gonna drift toward the wall, and it's gonna shift the load from the front side of the body to the back side of the body. Our intent with this is to be able to load your quads. And then your stance width is going to vary depending on the individual. So find the most comfortable position, whether that's narrow with your toes forward, narrow with your toes pointed out, and all the combinations in between. Move your feet around to find what the most comfortable position for you is. Last piece, limit your depth to your tissue's ability, meaning if you get symptoms, you need to come out of that depth so you're not going as deep. And then your strength, obviously. You don't want to go to that bottom position and get stuck. So be honest with where you are. When we get set up, I'm gonna have equal foot pressure. I like to think about putting my weight into my heels, driving my feet through the floor, and then I'm descending by bending my knees, keeping my hips tucked under me, keeping my torso vertical, and I'm trying to not drift toward the wall. If I keep my hips forward, it loads the front half of our torso, and then we're gonna drive back to that top position, coming all the way down. And ultimately, you're trying to get as deep as you can. So if you can get all the way into that bottom position without any sort of compensation and come straight back out of it, that's great. That's ultimately our goal. If we want to add load, we can simply take a kettlebell or a dumbbell, put it on the front, and then create the load from there. If you're at home and you have next to no equipment, taking a backpack, throwing books in it, those types of things, giving it a bear hug, going into the squat will allow you to add load to the system. What we're after is that you'll be able to do a body weight full range of motion, sit into that bottom position before you add any sort of load. And then again, making sure, as you'll be able to see in the side view here, that you're not tucking your hips under you, opening your ribs and arching your back. We want to keep everything in a straight line to be able to load our quads a lot more than the back half of our body.